What is up, guys? Welcome back to the TNT Business Podcast. I'm your host, KT Temple, and I'm here with my co-host, Ken Temple. What's up, man?
Technology sucks.
Ken is fighting with a Google Chrome browser that wants it to update, but then won't update. And his long-lost son isn't in North Carolina anymore to help them fix his computer.
It's not fun.
Yep. So, in our style, we make an update like, hey, we're going to be coming out on Tuesdays now. And then just to, really mess with you guys, we're going to put this out on Thursday. That's the first
Well,
week.
we do have a good reason.
We do. And our good reason is we always say we're going to do something in person, and then we don't realize how busy we're going to be, and we never do anything in person. The only time we do these shows is if we are apart. Because if we're together, we're never going to do it.
Well, I meant the good reason is because we just thought we were going to have more time. And of course, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Hunter Dean Temple Foundation and our big weekend coming up. And KT flew in, and this was our big weekend. And it turned out to be nonstop. And there were just people here all the time. So anyway.
Yeah, we're going to give you guys an update on that. Before we do that, I do want to thank our sponsor, the Temple Team. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can find us at thetempleteam.com. We are a local real estate company based out of the Charlotte-Mooresville area. We've got agents all the way from Statesville down to Fort Mill. But even if you're looking in another area, still reach out to us. We never want you to end up with a bad real estate agent. And we've got connections to the best real estate agents all across the United States. So again, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, reach out to us. Let us connect you with somebody great. That's thetempleteam.com. So how's the event, man? I thought it went pretty good.
It went phenomenal. It's funny how much you learn from year one to year two. We haven't had our download meeting yet, but man, all the feedback has been great. I don't know the final number on how much we raised, but I know it was, we had a 6-figure gross last year, and we will beat last year's number for sure. So, the funny thing, KT, is I started looking at the weather for this past Monday in about April. I'm bringing out the Farmer's Almanac trying to figure this out. For the whole week leading up to it, it said rain showers all day long. And not only did it not rain, it turned out to be just sunny and beautiful. Could not have asked for a better day in August to have an event like that. So we're very, very blessed. Thank you to everybody. I'm not going to make the mistake and start thanking certain people, because if I do, we'll forget somebody. I will say thank you to the two main sponsors, which was the Keller Williams Carolinas region, and to Lily and Grace. So thank you guys so much. But it was phenomenal. Thank you for being here, bud.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
That's when you're supposed to say thank you, Dad, for buying our plane ticket so we could get there.
Thank you, Dad, for buying our plane ticket. Yeah, now he's got to buy me golf lessons if he wants me to keep coming up there, so I don't just drink on a golf cart the entire time.
Can I just buy you some Pokemon cards and call it even?
100%. Yeah, that's such a better deal.
Yes.
Awesome, man. So let's get to our updates. Where do you want to start with updates?
I think the big one right now, guys, if you're following it, and again, it's a different week, so let's just do what we were doing the week before last. Very, very close to some sort of agreement over the Strait of Hormuz. And man, the oil prices, which are falling, are showing it, and the stock market this whole week is showing it. Stock market's gone crazy. Just the confidence around the fact that it might it's just crazy, KT, how much the rumor of it happening can have the effect on it. So, but right now, things are definitely, for this week, are definitely in our favor. Continue to watch that. If we can get an agreement, if the Strait of Hormuz can get opened without any tolls, fares like that, the second half of the year could be really strong if it stays that way. Now, this is where you're supposed to say,
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it whenever that actually happens. I have zero trust or faith in anything that is hearsay, completely. I don't know why anybody, to me at this point, if you do believe this, you've learned nothing over the past 6 months.
Well, no, eventually, KT, if if you just keep saying something over and over again, and then it eventually turns true, just keep betting double or nothing. So eventually this will get worked out. We just don't know when. Of course, I've been saying the same thing about, I really thought, Russia, Ukraine would be long over by now. And we're at 4.5 years. It's 4.5 years now since that started. And so it's, we're just not, we're not close. But anyway, right now, the markets, the oil prices, everything is looking really, really good in the world, and in the world of our economy, which is what we talk about. So please continue to watch that, and we'll give you an update next week if something changes besides this, along with our regular episode.
Awesome. All right. What else?
Well, so since we spoke, the Fed met, and they did exactly what they thought they were going to do, which is they did not change the Fed rate. But I think there's more notes in there to talk about. In the notes, you found out that 9 of the 12 voted to keep things the same. 3 of the 12 voted to raise it a point. So it just shows that we're tracking more and more toward that raise. If you would have, KT, if you would have asked me, say last Friday, if they were going to raise in September when they meet next, if they would raise it a quarter point, I would have said yes. Today, I'm not as sure, because right now with what's going on, if we can get peace in the Strait, maybe they won't. Again, it's going to be a last minute decision based on what's going on right then. I do think there's a good chance though that they do raise the Fed rate, just something to keep our eyes on in terms of what it does to the economy, what it does to the cost of money. Now, that being said, whenever we talk about the Fed, we always turn around and talk about mortgage rates, just because a large percentage of our listeners are in real estate. KT, everything I'm reading is basically through the end of 2027. So for the next 18 months, don't expect a lot of movement in mortgage rates in either direction. Yeah. So in everything I've read, the highest that anybody thinks rates would go in the next 18 months is 6.9%. The lowest anybody thinks they could go is 6.2%. And that's the two extremes. Most people feel like we're going to stay just in this 6.5 range. That's not terrible news. 6.5% historically is a great interest rate, but it just something big is going to have to change to get mortgage rates to change, and we don't know what that is, and we don't see that coming again. But that's just the reason. If you're waiting around for mortgage rates, man, that can be a long, painful process as you wait for them. So I probably would not count on that happening. So it's where we are. I know and we talk about mortgage rates are tied more closely to the 10-year than they are to the Fed rate, and man, the 10-year's a freaking yo-yo. News comes out and it goes up, and news comes out and it goes down. And so I think, the mortgage rates are just kind of hanging around going, I think we're just going to wait and see what you decide. But just count on that mid 6s for being the average 30-year fixed.
I think it's important to talk about what to look at if we're saying not to look at interest rates. And because my buddy asked me, about interest rates, and it reminds me that we should say, look at your local area and figure out where you think home prices are going to go up. It's so much more right now. If you're trying to find the deal, you're trying to find where to invest your wealth, whatever that looks like, it's about the location in your local area and not about the interest rate. The interest rate's not going to affect it. And so if you're coaching people on, what they should do with their money, look at your local area. Find out where home prices are moving up quickly, and that's going to be your spot to speculate. I don't think there's never a good time to speculate on interest rates, especially with the world the way it is right now. And I think that's important to point out.
Well, when it comes to buying a house, KT, the one thing when you buy a house, the one thing you can't change is what you paid for that house. That's what it is. Well, what you can change is the interest rate if you get that opportunity to do it. And here's the thing, we're looking at, basically, a couple-year run here of not a lot of change in home prices in most areas. Some places are even down a little bit. Most places are up a little bit. When I say a little bit, KT, they're not even making the historical 4%. Mm-hmm. You're finding, year over year prices up 1%, 2%, 3% in a lot of places. Some places are down. In other words, prices are really, really flat. So prices are flat. Here's the thing: if prices are flat and mortgage rates are flat and income is going up, although it's not going up as much as we want, income's going up. Affordability is actually getting better as things stay flat, just because people will make more money over time. And that's why I think now is a great time to get in before something does happen, because I know this: prices are much more likely to go up than go down, and mortgage rates are going to continue to go up and go down. Because right now, Casey, right now they're saying nationwide, there's almost 2 sellers for every 1 buyer out there, which technically means, if you look at it, they say we're not in a buyer's market based on months of inventory, but that tells me that we're in a buyer's market if there's more people wanting to sell. And this is going to be, the last 3 years in a row, we've sold 4.1 million houses each year. Man, we're right back on track for that 4.1 million again. So we're just sitting here at the bottom of this market, but that still means 4 million people are going to buy a house this year.
Yeah, and I think so, because my house has not changed in price since I bought it 3 years ago. And that is really, really strange. I mean, it hasn't moved. It is pretty much worth the exact same amount in which I purchased it, which is, unheard of in the past 20 years.
Yeah. And Katie, I was looking at your house and it hasn't gone down, but it hadn't gone up enough for you to recoup any expenses you would have if you sold it. But that's okay. It hadn't gone down. You still own it, and you're still paying. And by the way, not only are you paying it off, actually somebody else is paying it off for you, because you've got it. You've got somebody else paying your mortgage, which is awesome. And I'm in the same boat. The same time that you bought.
Shout out, Heather. Thanks for renewing your lease.
Oh, there. Well, and I'm in the same boat as you. Your mom and I. We bought, we'll call it an investment property, about the same time you did. And we've had very little price appreciation on it. But again, that asset, we own more and more of, all the time. We're doing very well in it long term, because we're not planning on selling it, just like you're not planning on selling yours. It's all good.
All right. You want to talk crap about Elon Musk with me?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about. Now we're going to get somewhere.
Oh man. So all right, let's just do a quick recap on where we are for the richest man in the world. So the space,
who's not as rich as he was.
Yeah, the SpaceX stock at one point was valued at, let's see what the top of it was, 201.8. That's where it launched at. And that was, let's see, what was that date? June 16th. At the current recording, it is at 112.82, and this is August 6th. So it is down.
Right, so what was the opening 30%. Price, KT?
What's that?
No, but what was the opening price?
It opened at 160. Its top was 201.
Oh, I thought it was 220. But anyway, okay, I'll give you 201, whichever.
Yeah, that's just the graph I've got here on Google.
Okay.
And now it is sitting at 112, meaning it is down 30% or 40. Is it 40, negative 40? It's down a lot.
It's down a lot.
It's down 30% since, in that time. And just in the past day, I believe it is, let's see here, just in the past, 24 hours, because they unlocked a lot of the shares for SpaceX. It is right. Fallen 13% as AI spending surge rattles investors.
So a lot of that stock came open, and a lot of people started dumping it.
Yeah,
is what he's telling
you. That when and we talked about it, but a lot of this stock was locked, meaning whenever you purchased into it, you couldn't sell it for a certain period of time. So over the next year, you're going to see more and more of this stock becoming unlocked, and people will be able to get out of this. And I think more and more people are learning that this company is not profitable. It's nowhere near profitable. You're just going on whatever Elon Musk, no, not even a percentage point of being profitable. It's nowhere close. And they're not forecasting, revenues for a long time. And you're just going off of whatever Elon Musk promises you and just the excitement around AI. And this is nerve-wracking for all the other AI stocks that are supposed to IPO. And I don't even think we've seen, the final say on if they're going to IPO, because of how many people are freaked out about this.
Well, and Casey, just to correct you, the high was 225.64. So it is at 50%. So if it started out at 160. If you happen to jump into that 225, you have lost more than half of your investment in this little bit of time because it went through the roof. And I know a lot of really smart people who were buying SpaceX day one. And listen, hey, the long-term hold value may be great, but I'd rather buy it today than when they bought it. I know that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much in free fall. I don't know. I don't know. You can't do this charade of being non-profitable as a public company like they're trying to do. And I don't know what people are going to see in this, how they're going to think they're going to get their revenue back when they're not making any.
Well, the problem is the investors that are getting out of it, what they don't like, KT, more than the profit is how much they're spending.
Yeah.
And and that's why they're not profitable, is because they're putting so much into it. Some companies, like Apple, by the way, has been doing pretty well lately. And it's because they decided to cut their AI spending.
Oh, no,
and
not
all of a sudden
cut.
investors go, I like that idea.
Not cut, get rid of. They merge. It's going to be really interesting. Tim Cook just did his final, call and everything, and they could potentially charge for Siri for power users of that. And that's because they are merging Siri with Google Gemini. And so Google Gemini will be what powers Apple AI, which is a huge twist. Who could have ever imagined Apple and Google partnering up like that? But they are done, and I think they are going to win out over all these. Google's going to win out because they've got more money than anybody else in the world, just cash sitting there. But I think Apple is going to be a really interesting thing to follow as the company that said, "No, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do the giant AI spending. We're just going to focus on what's important to us." You guys do it all for us, and we'll acquire you later on.
Yeah, time of death of this podcast, 1620, when KT started talking about Tim Cook. That's when everybody logged off.
He's gone, man. Let him be. Let him be.
I don't know. You know what, KT? You probably attract a lot of techno nerds to our little podcast here. I love all of you. Thank you for being here. And somebody come update my Chrome. So I have to be on this little tiny iPad.
This is how you make your parents.
I'm gonna get my
guys.
address out right now. Somebody come to my house and update my computer because KT's in Austin.
But yeah, I again, we don't ever listen to us on investment stuff, but I just want to say I was right about SpaceX being way too expensive.
Yeah. Do not take our advice on how to invest. That would not be the smart thing to do. But
neither one of us invest. we have a guy that does that.
I do. Well, I do invest, but I don't invest in, I don't go out and buy Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we're not.
I give my money to somebody who knows how to invest. Go, you go put this in something that's going to make money, and I hope it's not SpaceX.
Well, remember that was the
SpaceX.
That was the problem with all of this, is that the way they listed it forced people's savings into SpaceX, and that was one of the things. And that's what happened here. So if you
they fast tracked it. You're supposed to be on listed for a year before it becomes available like that, and they fast tracked it so people get into it. So,
and look what's happened. I don't know what the repercussions of this is, because there should be something, because there's no reason for them to be fast tracked especially after seeing it drop the way it did at 50%.
Well, the reason's Elon.
Exactly.
Yeah, power. It's power.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, anything else before we wrap up here today?
No, we're going to be in your inbox next Tuesday, though.
Yep, we will be. We will be.
Come hell or high water. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're going to talk about something next Tuesday. I guarantee doggone to you.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week. Remember, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, find us at thetempleteam.com. And if you like the episode, guys, leave us a review, share this with some friends. And one last thank you to everybody who came out for Hunter's event, man. We are really excited.
100%.
We're coming up to the point, if you don't know, here in the next few weeks, we're going to get to review all the portfolios and figure out where this money is going to go and who's it going to go to. This is all to help the pursuit of helping relieve anxiety and helping kids get to practice art a lot more. So we're really excited about the opportunity to do that. So we'll see you guys again next week. Thanks again.